Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Friday to you all. Week is over with, fortunately, right? Bitcoin kind of bounced back today, which was nice to see Bitcoin bouncing back, but miners, what did they do? They didn't do so well. So we got to cover the miners, what happened today with them. Bitcoin, like I said, bounced back. We have more bullish news on Bitcoin adoption happening here, so that's great news. And then we'll take a look at the Bitcoin miners for operations in May. What did they score as far as by numbers, everything else? Where did they come in as far as positioning wise? I think you guys might know which one came in first. But we'll take a look at all that stuff. But as always, we got to go through this. Not financial advice for team only. Do your own research and full disclosure below that. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at the wild day that we had today with Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin was way down, way below the 50 simple day moving average here today. And we bounced back up here quite nicely to above 106,000, which is where we closed at, $106,118. Nice to see that. Obviously, the conflict that's happening between Iran and Israel, that had an impact on it today. It had definitely an impact on the markets themselves, miners, everything else. I mean, things were down today, but things picked back up here for Bitcoin at least. That was a good sign. So Bitcoin's down in the new day. For Saturday now, it's at 105,552, but we still finished out the day here in the green for Bitcoin with a nice bounce off the 50 simple day moving average. We saw that happening here as well. This was back on Thursday, the 5th of June. And we had a nice rally here. Hopefully we'll get a nice little rally here on this one as well, but we'll see over the weekend. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Miners had a rough day today. They didn't start out well in the beginning, obviously, with what was happening the night before. But Bitfarms finished out the day here being down 3.62%. BitTBT was down 4.59% as well. Cypher was down 3.12%. Cleanspark was down 4.2%. CORZ was down about 2%. It's below now the 200 simple day moving average. Hive was down 3%. Hut 8 was down 4.8% more or less. IREN was down 3.3%. Mara was down 4.9% and change. Riot was down 4.8% and Wolf was down 5.6%. MicroStrategy was up just a little bit here, so it kind of followed Bitcoin a little bit better than the miners did. Galaxy was down 3%. Coin was up just a little bit here, 0.69%. Coinbase also came out with a nice commercial for Bitcoin. If you guys didn't see it, it's about housing pricing. If you price it in Bitcoin, right back in like 2000, I can't remember how far back they went, but in the beginning of the commercial, just said it. You needed like, what was it, like 200 Bitcoin or something like that to buy a house. Now you need a couple Bitcoin to buy a house. So that's the power of Bitcoin as it grows in value over time. You need less Bitcoin to buy a house going forward here. So a reason why to get into Bitcoin. Let's see, Stellar was down. The blockchain group was up nicely today. Another 9% gain on that one. Man, this thing has been a rocket here this past couple weeks. GameStop was flat. Small miners were in the red here except for DMF, or DMG, sorry. DMG was the only one positive here right now. Canon was in the red. The miner ETFs were in the red as well. So it wasn't a great day. For the most part, when we look at the weekly here, all these miners were in the red except for one. If we look at IREN here, IREN was the only one that was able to squeak out a positive week nonetheless here, which is quite a feat here. So you can see here on the weekly, this is the only one that's actually in the green here. Everybody else that I checked from Bitfarms all the way down to Wolf, they were all in the red here. Where Bitcoin still might be in the green here. Bitcoin is, well, right now it's in the red. It's down a little bit, but when I checked it a little bit earlier, it was just barely in the green for us. So we will see how that goes forward into the weekend and how we turn out on Monday next week as well. Okay, so there's Bitcoin on that. We're looking at the results here right now for Bitcoin. We're up 28% on Q2. And for the month of June, we're up a little bit here, 1%. We might be actually in the red here based on where Bitcoin is at right now, but we might be in the green here. So June's not doing too good right now. I would love to see it do a little bit better. Historically, June has been more of a green month than a red month, right? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months or 6 years where it's been in the red. And we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's actually half and half right now. So I guess it could go either way. I thought I was looking a little bit more on the green side of things. So we'll see where it goes going forward. The Bitcoin ETFs here continued to buy in yesterday, with BlackRock buying in another 288 million worth. They gave us a positive of 86 million inflow into Bitcoin yesterday. We'll see where we are today. It looks like some were buying at least on the dip, right? So I hope you guys bought on the dip. If you were, congratulations there. Definitely was a nice price point to get back into a Bitcoin if you didn't in the past here. So that was nice to see, and I'm sure BlackRock will probably be in the green as well, as they were probably buying into it as well. Here is the good news stories that we do have here right now. So this is breaking here. SEC approves Trump's media plan to buy 2.5 billion of Bitcoin. Right, big money's coming in. Let's go. Again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday with the amount of shares of Bitcoin on exchanges. That is decreasing. As a result, Bitcoin price is going to be going up here shortly, I believe. At least historically, that would tell us that's going to be happening here. Also from the Bitcoin historian here, breaking French Parliament puts forward proposal to mine Bitcoin to stabilize the national electricity grid. Nation states want BTC huge. It'll be interesting to see how much hash rate they put on the network, if they are going to try to stabilize the network there. But Bitcoin is great for this, right? Because you can shut it off whenever you need more electricity for other things, for homes, right? Businesses and things like that. And when there's not a lot of need for electricity, you can ramp up Bitcoin relatively quickly as well. So it's a great way to stabilize the network for power grids. So that's great news there. We're probably going to see more of that happening as well. Next year, also from the Bitcoin historian, pretty popular here, breaking 2.2 trillion. Amazon is looking into using crypto stablecoins for payments. Big tech is here. Bitcoin is next, possibly. Right, stablecoins, we'll see where they go with it. A little skeptical because one thing you don't want is Amazon to have their own stablecoins, Apple to have their own stablecoin, Google to have their own stablecoin, and then you get into this kind of weird system where you're trying to trade between the different stablecoins, unless they all accept everybody else's stablecoins. We need something like a Visa or a MasterCard, which Bitcoin is. So we really need all of these companies to really onboard Bitcoin and go along on Bitcoin that way. I think that might be the best way going forward here. Okay, so there's that. Also from the Bitcoin historian here, breaking Anthony Pompliano to lead new company that will raise $750 million to buy Bitcoin. That's another company, right? We've had a record number of companies that are looking to buy Bitcoin, put it on the treasury, or just become Bitcoin holding companies, more or less. So, yeah, things are definitely getting interesting here. We're seeing more and more of these companies kind of start up here, pop up in the past, I would say, couple of weeks, couple of months as well, maybe even a year. We're seeing more and more of this. This is really good news because, again, Anthony and his company buying Bitcoin, putting it onto their wallets, probably going to be hardware wallets, I'm guessing. Something that's going to be a little bit more secure than keeping it on exchanges. But what that all does is it takes the coins off of the exchanges, off the OTC desks, and makes the supply much, much, much lower, which then obviously is going to fuel a price appreciation in Bitcoin as the demand continues to increase there. So I love seeing that. Then we got this one from Vivek here. Retail investors haven't even started buying Bitcoin yet. We are going so much higher. And yeah, I mean, retail FOMO has not kicked in yet. We have what looks like institutional structured bid here. So here's retail FOMO, right? In the 2012 cycle, we can see retail was definitely the driving force behind Bitcoin's price appreciation. We had the drawdown. Then we had another rally here in Bitcoin from 2015 all the way through 2017. Right, that was driven by retail as well. And then we had retail again and back in 2019 going all the way through 21, which was all retail FOMO driven. This time around, like I keep saying that the cycle is different. You can see how this looks, right? This is more of an institutional structured bid. This is institutions driving it up. We don't have retail in yet. When retail does come in, if it comes in, I think it will come in, we're definitely going to have a much higher price going forward here. So I think retail is going to definitely drive it going forward, along with adoption by institutions, companies, countries, states, pension funds, mom and pop investment firms and things like that. They're all going to be driving Bitcoin up much, much higher here for us going forward. And it's definitely going to be a much, much different cycle than we have seen in the past year, which could be, like I keep saying, an extended cycle as well. Okay, so there's that. And then we have this also from AO. Bitcoin bull run begins here. He's saying possibly 700,000 here. I'd love to see that. I don't know if it's going to happen here in this year. I'm guessing we're probably looking more into 2027 timeframe. Maybe that would be the case here. But he's pointing out whenever we get a cross on the DEMA and the D. I'm not sure what the D stands for. I don't know if he points that out again or not. But you can see here, we get a cross, we had a rally, right? We get a cross here, we get a rally, we get a cross, we get a rally. It looks like we're crossing here again. It looks like we're getting ready to rally also. So Let's see if this plays out. I think it might. We've all been saying that towards the end of the year, second half, it should be much better for Bitcoin here. We could go to 150,000, 200,000, wherever it might end up at, 230,000, whatever. I think that's still in play here. We're seeing the exchanges, the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges going down, right? Supply and demand economics have to go into effect here. Much less supply, much more demand. What's going to happen here? Prices has to go up. Unless the system is broken, which I don't believe it is, we're going to see Bitcoin at a much higher price here coming up here in the next couple months, couple weeks, and possibly in the next year as well. So this is all great news here. Let's get into next the Bitcoin miners for May operations. I took out Hut 8 out of it, Bitfarms as well. They didn't provide their operational update. I kept CORZ in there, and we'll take a look at it here on this. I kept CORZ in here because they still at least provide the daily updates, so we at least know what they mined. We can kind of guesstimate what their hash rate was at the end of the month here, more or less. But we can also just use what the hash rate that was reported last time until we get an updated update on them for them, and we can see where they're at more or less. But we're still seeing what their operational uptime is. How many days a month are they mining basically to get the Bitcoin that they need there, okay? So here's what we got here. So we look at month-over-month hash rate growth, BTC percentage sold, BTC per exahash efficiency, BTC mined, days mined, current hash rate, and HODL. And we do it, so these are the 8 metrics, and we also look at the 6 metrics, which don't include current hash rate and HODL. Okay, so here's what we got. Month-over-month percentage hash rate growth, higher is obviously better here. We got Hive. Hive had a nice growth here, 51% growth in hash rate, followed by BitDeer at 9.6%. Then Cleanspark 7.54%, then Riot 5%, IREN at 2.5%, and Mara at 1.75%. Right, current hash rate. Probably this getting kind of okay. There we go. You can see it all now. For current hash rate, Mara is obviously king here. Came in at 58.3 exahash, followed by Cleanspark at 45.6 exahash, IREN at 41 exahash, Riot at 35.4. Core, like I said, I'm going by what they last reported, which was 18.1 exahash. BitDeer at 13.6, Cypher at 13.5, Hive at 10.4 there on these guys. And then BTC per exahash efficiency, higher is obviously better here. Mara came in number 1. Mara had a fantastic month last month in May of operations. They came in at 15.98, beating out everybody here. IREN came in second spot with 15.28. Cleanspark with 15.22, Riot at 14.52, BitDeer at 14.4. And then we got Hive at 13.3, Cypher at 13.2, and Core at 12.4. Right, Core was operating roughly around 14 exahash last month on average, based on what I could figure out from their number of BTC mined. Month-over-month BTC mined percentage here, Hive increased 36%, Mara increased 34%, BitDeer 18%, Riot 11%, Cleanspark 9.6%, IREN 8.3%, Cypher 2.8%, and Core only 1.9%. BTC mined here, Mara again coming in at number 1 here with 950, followed by Cleanspark at 684, IREN 627, Riot at 514, and then we got Core at 226. Those are the top 5 miners there. BitDeer 196, Cypher 179, Hive 139. Days mined, Mara again beating out everybody else here, roughly almost 31 days operational here. Hive at almost 31 days also, IREN at 30.8 days, Cleanspark at 30.1. Riot at 28.5, along with BitDeer 28.5, then I get Cypher 25 days, and Core at 24 days. HODL-wise, Mara, biggest miner that has a biggest HODL as well. 49,179 Bitcoins there. Riot, 19,225. Cleanspark, 12,502. BitDeer, then we have a big disparity between the top 3 here and everybody else. BitDeer at only 1,351 Core. I'm guessing there's still maybe at 1,190. They could be higher. I probably should have docked them for it because they don't report it. Cypher at 966, Hive 610, IREN at 0, but at least you get to see where the last figures were for Core on it. And then percentage of BTC sold here for the month of May here. Mara sold the least amount, based on my numbers at least that I track. They're maybe sold 0.9% if they sold anything at all. Cypher sold 38%, Cleanspark 42%, BitDeer 46%, Riot 97%. IREN and Hive have sold, we're guessing 100% of that. Hive also didn't report what their end of May HODL was. They've been kind of coy about it here the last 2 months. Surprised to see that. So based on that, here is the way things have stacked up and who came in first, or at least the top 5 miners here, who came in first, second, third, fourth, and fifth place. based on the 8 metrics, which include everything, and then on the 6 metrics, which don't include HODL or current hash rate. And here is the results. We have a new champion this time around for May. Mara came in number 1 with 14 points, right? Lower points is better. Then we got Cleanspark with 25 points, Riot with 32 points, IREN at 36, along with BitDeer, then Hive at 39, Cypher at 50, and Core at 53. So the top 5 would include up to Hive here. And then if we don't include HODL or current hash rate, Mara still came in number 1 with 12 points, Cleanspark at number 2 spot, Hive number 3 spot, IREN number 4 spot, BitDeer number 5 spot as it is. And you can see how everybody else scored at that point. And here are their individual scores here. So Mara had really good scores on everything else except for month-over-month hash rate growth. I mean, they were pretty much number 1 for everything here, except for month-over-month BTC mine percentage and month-over-month hash rate growth. Then we got Cleanspark here, kind of 3s and 2s, so second spots a lot of times and third spots, and still at least below average, which is what we want. Below 6 is usually like the average mark there. Riot, 4s and 5s here for the scores. IREN kind of all over the place here a little bit, 5, 6, 2, 3, 8, and 6 on it. BitDeer, higher scores here, 6 4s and some 5s as well. Hive, really good on month-over-month hash rate growth, month-over-month BTC mine percentage growth, as well. Days mined, second spot here, but BTC per exahash efficiency has to improve there a little bit. BTC mined, right, there's still smaller miner here, so that's going to obviously drag them down a little bit. Bitcoin HODL and Bitcoin sold. Cypher, 7s across the board for the most part, and then 6 and a 2 for BTC sold. And then lastly, Core here, high numbers for a lot of these things here. Okay, based on that, and then looking at the last 12 months of averages for these guys, I track the monthly numbers for them and add them up, and then we do the averages on it. Here's how things stack up still for these miners here. Cleanspark still is in number 1 spot over the last 12 months, coming with a 24 point score on average over the 8 metrics. Mara came in 2nd, Riot 3rd, IREN 4th spot, Hive 5th spot, BitDeer and Core in the 6th spot, and Cypher in the 7th spot here. If we take out HODL and hash rate, we still got Cleanspark number 1 spot, then Mara, IREN, Riot, and Hive. Those are the top 5 miners there, BitDeer, Cypher, and Core coming in at the end there. And then here's the scores for everybody that I have, including the last 12 months of scores for everybody else. So that's how the miners have scored here. I wasn't shocked to see that Mara came in number 1. They had a really, really good month here for us last month, and hopefully it continues into June as well. I'd love to see that happening for them, and maybe if they continue to do this, they might get actually valued on their operations instead of just being valued on their HODL that they have. But we'll see. Or it could be the opposite way. Maybe they're being valued on their operations but not being valued on their HODL. Who knows? Right? Some people are saying that Mara should sell their mining business and go the way of strategy and just become a Bitcoin holding company, basically. Would they be valued better at that point? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We've seen other companies like Metaplanet, what's the other one? Similar as well, Scientific being valued better based on just having a huge HODL position. Maybe that would help. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you guys think on that one. But that is it for May here. It's going to be maybe a pretty quick show tonight, which is kind of nice because I like to go outside, maybe have a little fire going, enjoy the night here. So let's get into Q&A here. As always, spreadsheets are going to be available to my Patreon members. Link for that is going to be down in the description for you guys as always. And I greatly, greatly appreciate all the Patreon members there. You guys help support, and the YouTube members as well. You guys help support what I'm doing here daily, scourging the net for all these data points and everything else, putting it all into one spot for you guys and making it available for you guys. So I greatly appreciate you guys there. And again, link for that is down in the description. It's a couple bucks a month. You might be able to find a couple spots that are still open in like the $4, $5 range for monthly membership. And then I think the regular membership is like $8 a month. So still a really, really good deal based on this. And yeah, let's get into Q&A here. So really appreciate you guys here. And let's go into Q&A. So what you guys have to say. There isn't that many of you guys. There's only 36 of you guys. It's Friday. I don't blame you guys, right? You're probably worn out on Bitcoin miners for this past week. And you probably be doing better things, right? Spending time with your family, going out to eat, watching a movie or something like that. I do not blame you guys. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. I already answered this, but Wes Clark says, hey, Seb, do you follow Ryan Hogue? I guess that's how you pronounce it. He seems ultra bullish for BTC breakout soon. He loves his charts, okay? Like I said, I don't know him, but I will definitely check him out. let's see here. So most of Ryan's YouTube videos are only 10 to 15 minutes, so not too much to invest in time-wise. Yeah, appreciate it. Sadie, it says likes for Sebastian. Greatly appreciate that, Sadie, as always. Let's see. Trite says, retail barely surviving with high rent, plus basics, plus insurance. Where are they getting the money to YOLO the crypto market? A good point, right? With Bitcoin being up much higher now at 100,000 than what we were in the past, where Bitcoin was sub 1,000, even sub 10,000 at that point. It was much easier for retail to buy more into it, right? They saw it as a better return on investment possibly, right? And now with it being higher priced, if they buy only $1,000 worth of it, they're getting 1/100th of a Bitcoin basically, right? As before they were getting at least one Bitcoin or close to 1/10 of a Bitcoin, something like that. So I think we'll still see FOMO from them, because I saw people that I know were buying in the 86,000, 90,000, then they got freaked out when we were coming down, they sold, and then they haven't bought back in yet. So I think they will FOMO back more in. People also, you got to remember that a lot of people that have, that retail at least, a lot of people have properties, right? Home, things like that. They possibly have refinanced at a much, much lower interest rate than what we are seeing right now, right? I was able to refinance at around 2%. I know others that have also refinanced right around those ranges as well. And they're not looking to sell their house or buy another house or anything like that. They have a really, really low house payment right now. And they have a lot of, maybe potentially some more income as well that's not being eaten up by the by housing, right? But there's also a lot of people that are struggling, as you have mentioned here. So, but I think there's more people that are doing better than there are more people that, well, maybe not. I don't know. The people that I at least hang around, I know people are still doing pretty good here. But you could be right. All right. Rogue says, the difference with this rally and retail will buy ETFs and not the actual BTC. Either way, the only way is up. Okay, yeah. Let's see. D says retail is out. Not going to sell 100,000 for one biddy. Yeah, that's why it's going to be tough. I think people will get back into it, but it might be tough. Let's see. Caleb says, I caught you live watching from Brisbane, Australia. Wow. Thank you so much for coming in. Let's see. He says, you need another vacation. Riot was pumping while you were gone. It will pump again. It's Saturday for us Aussies. Awesome. That's awesome that you guys are in from Australia. All right. I think we'll call it a day, guys. I mean, I don't see any other questions coming in here. I'm still super bullish on Bitcoin long term here. Even in the short term, I think this next half of the year is going to be much better for us. I could be wrong on that, but I'm being maybe overly optimistic here. I don't know. You guys pretty much know me. I am quite optimistic on most things, and then some things that do irk me, I will let you guys know about it. But for the most part, I'm optimistic. I'm easygoing, and I think the best is yet still to come. I don't think Bitcoin has reached its top yet. I think we have more to go as time progresses here. So I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I'd definitely love to have more Bitcoin. But you can always buy more, I guess, right? If the financing is available to do so. But yeah, we'll see what happens over the weekend. We'll cover the miners on Sunday night just a little bit here. Like I said, I'm going to look into some more miners, and I still got to get you guys updates for like some of the HPCI plays and data center plays as well. So I'll be trying to catch on up you guys on all that stuff later on next week, the following week, and things going forward as well. Heinze says winter is coming. Well, winter is eventually coming for us. I mean, we're in summer right now, but will we get a like crypto winter? I don't know. Not with Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin's going to have another winter for a while, potentially. But we'll see. All right. So have a great weekend, everyone. Greatly appreciate you guys as always. Spend time with your families. Enjoy the weekend. Touch grass. Have fun. This stuff will still be here come Monday, right? It's not going anywhere. Things are not changing. We'll be discussing it all as always. So love you all. I will see you guys Sunday. Until then,